Greetings, FYW Universe. This is Reginald Buxely III, FYW's classiest wrestler. Now, I know you die-hard FYW fans have been watching week in and week out, waiting for the next big thing. Since I've been gone, that just hasn't been there. You've been greatly disappointed, and in all honesty, all efforts made by upper management and ownership has been pathetic, to say the least. Well, I hopefully have some news here that will alleviate that situation. Before we get to that news, I kind of want to talk about what's happened over the last few months in FYW. Lots of changes have happened. So we all know that the FYW is quote-unquote Mike Houston's brainchild. Started in the Battlegrounds, and then Mike Houston couldn't handle his finances, and he had to sell the company. So he sold it to YouTube. YouTube took control. We moved to a new venue. It was all right. Then Scott Anderson was put in control, which, come on, honestly, Scott Anderson, he can't tie his own shoes, let alone run a company. And then we got news that, we got a new venue, and that new venue was the product of Kurt the Rumble Johnson, who was the new owner. Well, as you guys have seen, we are at yet again a new location. So with that said, a couple of days ago, I received a call from YouTube, and they kind of laid down what's been going on. They told me that Kurt the Rumble Johnson has defaulted on a few of his payments, and YouTube is not too happy about that. They're businessmen, they like to make their money, and when people forget to pay or don't have the ability to pay, they get angry. So YouTube's been repossessed. Though why they thought it was a smart move to trust Kurt the Rumble Johnson to actually fund the company is beyond me. They have credit scores for a reason. I mean, seriously, the man's beer allowance is higher than his mortgage. Obviously, he has no prioritization of money, nor can he manage whatever money he has. Of course, he is a redneck, and rednecks don't really know what to do with cash when they get it. But money management is one of my finer points. And so with that said, YouTube called me, and they didn't just ask, they begged me to assume control of the company and buy it off of them so it could be run properly and they made a profit. So I thought about it. And then I thought about it some more. And then I realized if I were to own the FYW, especially since I'm currently unable to compete, I'd be in the perfect spot to be spreading this class I always talk about that no one's quite getting into their heads. But I think as owner, I might be able to do that. So I decided I'd sign my name on the dotted line. I forked over the cash. I paid in full, mind you, so I will not be defaulting on any loans. So you are looking at the brand new owner of the FYW. So I could be, a unbiased owner, call things down the middle, or I could be a vengeful prick. And in all honesty, after the shit that I've been put through, mostly due to poor management and poor talent. I mean, the losers in the back, no one being able to control psychotics. I mean, seriously, that's where injuries come from. So that's why I'm put out, and so I think that I'm in a perfect situation to seek a little restitution. So I think it's kind of serendipitous that I am acquiring the company shortly before Saturday, which is Barbaric. And as you may or may not know, Barbaric is a completely extreme free-per-view, which means that every match will have some form of extreme stipulation. And so I thought, what better way to push my weight than to create some very interesting matches. I really hope you enjoy them. So first off, I am going to put the poster child of the FYW, Brian Phoenix. I'm going to put him against someone that we all know I love to hate, so-called leader of EOD Genocide. But in this match, it's going to be a body bag stipulation. And what that means is that the first person to put their opponent into a body bag and zip it up will be victorious. So, best of luck to you two in that one. Next, as you all know, I mean, we weren't necessarily friends, but we understood each other, if nothing else. And we liked to party. Kyle Cash would come to my parties, I'd go to his parties. But recently, Kyle Cash has gotten soft, which is just pathetic. I mean, really, pandering to Brian Phoenix, pandering to the fans, being all apologetic for his actions. Really? Come on, Kyle. That was weak. Do you have a spine? So, I figure, let's test how spineless he really is. And we're going to put him against someone else that I just adore. Sinister, another member of EOD. I believe he gave me a nice kick to the head at one point. So I'm going to put those two in an extreme lumberjack match. Now, an extreme lumberjack match is very much like a regular lumberjack match, except extreme, which means weapons will be not only legal, but greatly encouraged to keep both competitors in the ring at all times. So that should be very interesting. And, let's go to the man that really just seriously needs to retire. The one who I am currently 3-0 against, who I acquired the World Heavyweight title from, and then defended it, successfully, mind you. Gary Austin, the Illinois Rattlesnake. That pathetic excuse for a competitor. Well, I want to put him up against a match against a newcomer. Someone whose head's a little big, he thinks he's at the top when really everyone's going, who is this guy? Prodigy Snake. Now, Prodigy Snake, he also just yesterday was making comments about how I'm not in his league and I'm not extreme enough for FYW or to take him on, and I could never survive a match with him, and a bunch of BS, as we all know. He's pretty good at spewing that out. So I'm going to put him and Gary Austin in a match. And since I know how much Gary Austin just loves the use of fire, as you know, he was the one behind banning fire after the loose cannon Jake Paparella decided to get involved in his match and subsequently hit him with a flaming barbed wire bat. Way to go, Jake. So anyways, since it's under new ownership and Gary Austin no longer has any pull in the company, that stipulation has been reinstated. So, with that being said, I am now making this an Inferno match. An Inferno match works like this. The first competitor to become scorched loses. So, the good news for Gary Austin is he doesn't have any hair, so we don't have to worry about total ignition. But I'm hoping for some third-degree burns. And just to prove how extreme I really am, and in the aura of this barbaric theme, I've decided to instate a new title. Now, this title is going to be called the Extreme Championship. So obviously, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill championship. It has a little panache, a little extra kick to it. So I figured it's extreme, an extreme free preview. Let's come up with an extreme match. Now, we've all heard of the six-pack challenge. That's pretty interesting. You know, we've seen it several times on TV. I believe it's also been on the FYW several times. It's kind of intense, but I got a better idea. Similar rules, but we're going to call this the 10-man war. The 10-man war works just like a six-pack challenge. All 10 men will be in the ring at the same time, and the first competitor to win either submission or pinfall will be victorious and our first ever Extreme Champion. Now, of course, again, weapons and other, generally speaking, illegal methods are perfectly acceptable in this match. So whoever thinks they're going to become the first ever Extreme Champion has a long road ahead of them. That should be quite the match. I'm looking forward to it myself. So yeah, that will be barbaric. My only real holdback is that I'm really upset that D-Mac's not here to experience this new ownership. You know, but we all know what happened to D-Mac, and I really don't know if we'll ever see him again. But it would just be pretty cool to put him all the way through hell and back. But that's neither here nor there. I have a couple other matters I'd like to talk about. First, this Canadian guy named Jeff. Seriously, I found out the kid was 14 and he's posing threats at me. He's Canadian. He's 14. He's got nothing on Reginald Buxely III. And is Spaz or Twitch or whoever you are, really, just knock it off, dude. You don't stand a chance. You say that you're, you know, a legend, you're a Hall of Famer in backyard wrestling. None of us have seen it. None of us ever will, because it's just not true. So, with that said, you know, just shut up. Just shut up. Alright, well, for now, I guess that's about it. But bear in mind that great change is coming towards FYW, and I hope you're all looking forward to it, because it's going to be a wild ride. Stay classy.